Alright, hello and welcome everybody to the next episode of our F1 Manager 24 career mode. Coming off of a very good weekend compared to our last few races. Imola, we had a double points finish. Vesti, you see there on the top 3. Logan Sargent back in P4 after installing a very powerful rear wing, which was originally intended for Monaco, but we didn't have that great of a finish in Monaco. Logan Sargent finishing P8 and only the top 5 finishing on the lead lap. But we are still in the fight in the midfield. Last season we simulated through Canada and then we manually did Spain, and it's going to be the other way around this time. We're going to simulate through Spain, and then we're going to do Canada, and then it's going to be the same compared to last season. We're going to do Spielberg this time and then simulate through Silverstone, even though we have some parts that are coming in for Silverstone and Spa. But without further ado, let's go ahead and simulate through Spain and see where our guys end up with those same parts. You guys may see that our money is a little bit different. We did go into some parts development for, I believe it was it was the chassis that we worked on, and hopefully we'll have those guys ready for the high-speed portions of the season. So let's go ahead and skip through Spain, and we'll see you guys here in a second for the results. Alright, so here we have our results for Spain. Our driver is not doing so great. Vesti dropping out of P12. Logan Sargent improving as well. Still out of the points. It's still a reasonable position in the midfield. I know it's not near any points, but it's where we want our guys to be, especially with our development. Vesti gets overtaken by Ocon for the Drivers' Championship. And then Logan Sargent still sitting there in P11. Like Constructors, we are still holding on to P5. Haas is catching up to us, so we have to be careful of that. We weren't in the top 10 for the fastest pit stop. We're still sitting in P10. 2.42, 2.43 for our pit stops. They both reached their target. I need to look into that. Frederick Vesti not reaching a contract bonus. I think we set like 16 or higher, but I could be wrong. As we go into the next race weekend in Canada, and we put some more research in. We put some research in for a rear wing. We'll go back to that, and then we are building the new chassis. I know chassis is a lot more expensive, where you don't really have to do that, but any improvement that we can. I know we're dumping money into it, but let's see what we can do. Front wing, we have plenty of those. Underfloor, we have plenty of those. And then go from there. Screen future results. I don't know. Everybody's in a positive mood or enthusiastic. They're not happy with the current car performance. But we're gonna go into our facilities and we're gonna refer some of the stuff. I said I was gonna do it last time, but I need to do it now. So we'll see you guys here in a second for the race, or for qualifying. All right, so here we are at the end of practice 3, and all 3 practice sessions were pretty good. We had Logan Sargent sit out again for Hausman. She, I think it was 6th or 7th in practice 1. Actually, we'll take a look here in a second. 100% setup, so our drivers and the mechanics that they're paired with.
Welcome to the much anticipated qualifying session.
Alright, qualifying, we know. So the drivers and their mechanics, very good pairing right now. So yeah, Tina Hausman P6 in practice 2, top 2 in practice 3, or top 2 in practice 2, and then 1st and 3rd in practice 3. Because we run them hard at the beginning of the runs, and then we focus on setups for the rest. And I don't know why, it's always... we actually had Vesti's setup done in practice 2 before Logan's. We had to finalize his in practice 3. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and set these guys up for qualifying.
Green light.
Alright, real quick before we get out on track, I want to take a look at the weather. And it may be beneficial to wait till the rain dies down. But we could wait. What I can try to do is do 1 run on inners and then 2 runs on soft tires. Since we will be ending up saving a set of softs, really. Auction till Q3. So we actually, yeah. Try and save a set of soft tires. So we're gonna go ahead and head out there and see what we can do. So we'll see you guys in a second. Alright, everybody else is waiting for the dry weather. It's still damp out. Provisional times here. Give them enough space for each other. Sergeant's gonna be coming across the line first for a banker lap. It's gonna be 119.1, just shy of 119 flat. Vessi's gonna be coming back through the final chicane, wall of champions. And that's gonna be 0.02 of a second off the pace.
Charge on in box. Charge
So
on in
it's a
box.
good banker lap. We'll head in and then we'll change to soft tires. Alright, so I sent him out on a little bit of impulse. We're still damp. I sent my guys out on soft tires. So we'll see how they play through this with the rain drying out. Which that's kind of confusing to me, is why they sent everybody out on intermediate tires when it's drying up. Probably more than likely just right there at the crossover, so we'll see if we play the right move. But track position, yeah, it doesn't look too great. Because we're right in the middle of everybody. So we'll get to that hot lap and see how we run. Alright, they're all putting in times way better as the track conditions just changed. Who's ahead? Bestie's ahead. Got a lot of traffic behind him. I hope he doesn't get a penalty for holding them up. No improvement on that. So that was a bad
so
play on our part.
Charge on in box.
I honestly don't know how to play the crossover because it's coming in for soft tires
so
now.
We're P17.
So we pretty much wasted a
Northern
run
Lap
there.
Place will be coming in the pit entry.
But I don't know where they're gonna be. But we'll see what we can do here. Alright, both of our drivers having a green sector 2. Not looking too great here. Qualifying is almost over. Sergeant's gonna be, no, it's gonna be Vesti coming across the line first, coming through the wall of champions. Yeah, people are gonna try to fight to the line to get across. Vesti coming across the line. P4 off of that.
We're currently P4.
And then Sergeant P8. So, depending on how these other people can make it across the line, see what they can do. Why are you showing up like that?
Okay, mate, currently P10.
Yellow flag where?
And we need a slow in lap, please.
Copy.
Checkered flag. Sergeant
Are we
ran.
through or no?
Okay, that was post lap.
Copy, copy.
That's fine. He's probably trying to get out of the way. Alright, I wanted to get them out before the rain was too bad. The unfortunate thing is that Sergeant is ahead of Vesti right now. So, and that tow behind him is not going to help. So I just hope Sergeant has enough power down to get him. Don't fight, please. Don't fight, please. This is qualifying. Come on. Vesti, what are you doing?
On that's currently P9.
There is that's a personal improvement, but that's not enough. I would not be surprised if Vesti got a penalty for impeding. But that's not going to be enough. I don't think we're going to have enough weather to go again on soft tires. But, yeah. So now we hope that Vesti can stay within the top 10 for a Q3 run. Alright, here we go. Vesti coming in behind Hulkenberg. Through the chicane and by the wall of champions here. See where Hulkenberg sets up. Where's the time, sir? Oh, wow.
Okay, that's currently
4
P1.
seconds off the pace. 1:18.5 from Vesti. Hulkenberg 4 seconds off the pace. I don't know what's happening there. But we'll take that as a start for this run. And we'll see you guys for the final run. Alright, we tried to get behind Norris in the Red Bull. And he pulled a stop on us. He got behind us at the start of the lap. So I don't know if that's impeding or not. This final move into the chicane is really not going to help our run time against Norris. We're still sitting P6. See if there's an improvement. It's going to be an improvement up in P4. Norris up in P1.
Okay, yeah, we are P4.
So a little bit of toe there at the end along the Sector 3 straight. But not going to be enough for dry weather. And looks like we may be sticking in P5 now behind Ricardo. But we'll have to wait and see. Alright, that's going to be a P7 finish. Verstappen, Ricardo, Alonso, Lando Norris, Valtteri Bottas, Leclerc. Out of us, Esteban Ocon's going to be next to us here. Dennis Hauger in the Ferrari P9 and Nico Hulkenberg back in P10. So not a happy qualifying for Vesti. But still a decent start for us for this main race.
70 laps of the Canadian Grand Prix await our drivers here in Montreal.
Named after the legendary Canadian driver, the circuit Gilles Villeneuve has been host to plenty of first-time winners. Jean Alesi, Lewis Hamilton, Robert Kubica, and Daniel Ricciardo all got their maiden victories here.
Gilles Villeneuve is a quick, free-flowing circuit in parts, with a stop-start aspect thrown in for good measure around the chicanes and hairpin bends. Medium-speed downforce will play a large part in avoiding the wall of champions and ensuring success at this iconic track. Here we are, folks. We're back for another day of scintillating F1 action. It's race day. Final checks are being carried out by the teams, and it won't be long until we get this race underway. Understandably, there's a lot of people talking about Ferrari's driver.
Ninth is a fairly good grid position. If they make the right calls, they could well score some points.
This should certainly be a good one, folks. The drivers are ready and raring to go. It's the Canadian Grand Prix. And it's lights out.
All right, seventh place and 16th place start for our drivers. Aggressive. Aggressive.
Head down. We'll link to
No
it.
rain today for the race, just
Copy.
in practice and qualifying.
Allez, vieux, in your race now. Copy that.
And for our strategy, we're both on the Delta strategy. Darn's going to be running aggressive on mediums, and then Vesti will be running aggressive on hards later on. I'm just going to let it play out for now. We dropped 3 laps of fuel.
Very good.
All right, another overtake we saw from Sargent there.
Okay, that's good.
And I believe I said it last episode. I feel like we're really regretting making Sargent the lead driver this season, because Vesti is outperforming him. Nice overtake there. Plenty of overtakes on lap 1. VSC fighting Alonso coming up to the final chicane. So making a move on the start-finish line there. Nice. Open a P4.
So currently P4. Norris in front of you.
We'll have VSC push a little bit, try to fight for that podium spot early on.
So we have Alonso behind.
There's a mechanical fault. He's in the very back of the grid. He's probably going to have to retire. But we'll have to wait and see.
Perez also has an issue.
VSC up in P3 ahead of Norris and Alonso.
You're doing a very good job.
Start up in P12. See that
Let's have a
overtake.
look at that. Now we're watching the action closely here.
All right, nice move there in Sector 2.
It's there for the taking.
I believe that's the start of Sector 2.
Up into third and contending for a podium place.
Nice. Sargent still sitting P12, looking to put pressure on
Take it
Hamilton.
easy.
Yeah, copy that.
Can he make the move here? Not quite. A lot of traffic there. Push him to attack here with DRS.
Make sure we keep up with Hamilton if we can.
Come on, keep pushing. Keep pushing. Nice. And we're dropping down.
Focus on that time management at this stage.
Sargent up into top 10 with that double move there. We witnessed that overtake. We don't need to watch the replay.
Very good.
And drop that deployment for Sargent. SC's pushing a little bit more. He's trying to fight for P2 against Valtteri.
Okay, to pick up the pace.
Come on. Nice. He's fighting for the lead right now. We'll leave that on for a little bit.
Good job. So it's currently P2. Our next car ahead is Leclerc.
No new parts on. We just still have that rear wing. We're definitely outperforming what's projected. We're like what Sargent in qualifying. That's more of an ideal projection. But VSC, he's pretty much our wild card here. Drop VSC down to standard. Make sure I'm not
I
missing
want to see good
anything.
management.
Neutral, high aggression. Neutral, high aggression. Not running battery right now, and I believe our parts are good. ERS on VSC. And then actually both of them, but they should be good for the entirety of the race. We haven't had any engine component issues as of yet throughout the season. I know we did last season towards the end, but we'll go ahead and simulate through a handful of laps and see where we end up.
Virtual safety car.
All right, virtual safety
Okay,
car.
stay close to the reference.
What happened here?
Now
Oh,
is
Aaron
that
crashed in
the
turn 3.
Williams involved? It was the
Spin out.
Williams driver we see there.
Yeah,
Ooh,
just
that'll
lost
be a
it, slammed into the
costly crash
wall.
as the car.
Currently Sergeant P8, VSC P2. We are running pretty good on tire wear. Pretty on mark right now. Since we're under virtual safety car, we'll go ahead and top up on our battery.
Okay, recharge on.
See,
Charge on.
we'll
Charge on.
harvest. Nobody's coming in for a pit
Charge
for a
on.
2-stop. Take a look at our tires for strategies. Our top runner is going long on the softs. Probably going soft to hards. Bottas going to be going from hard to medium or hard to soft. And a lot of people with medium, most likely going to hards. But tire wear doesn't really look too bad for...
They're okay, they're okay.
I don't really think
Be very
anybody's going to
careful
go
with
for
the
a 2-stop unless there's a full safety car coming out. So we'll have to wait and see. I just noticed that on the minimap there is a big gap between Sainz, Joe, all them. Most likely from that incident, but we'll have to wait and see.
Currently sat in P1.
We are not
Got
in
1.5
P1,
behind.
sir. We are in P2. Leclerc is ahead. We are recharging as much as we can. Waiting for that virtual safety car to lift.
Okay, we'd like you to slow down, please.
Conserve our
Copy.
tires a little bit. Probably just lift up here
We look after
shortly.
the tires.
Copy.
We're just waiting for this virtual safety car to play out. I know it goes pretty long. We'll have to wait and see. Skip forward a little bit here. Not too fast that we don't miss it. Alright, virtual safety car ending.
VSC ending.
We'll go back to what we were doing.
Understood.
And then we'll jump to deploy.
Come on.
Try to close that gap
Overtake available.
as much as
Yep.
we can. And there's our green flag.
DRS enabled.
Right. And there's our big intervals. We got signs. They're 4 seconds back from Albon. And we have Hamilton 10 seconds back from Hulkenberg. Sargent makes that overtake on Ocon on the hairpin.
Good job. We're sat in P7 at the moment. Verstappen's the guy in front.
Vesti
1.6.
challenging Leclerc for the lead, and he comes out of the chicane in the lead. I believe this is his first time actually leading the race, not on a pit strategy.
Okay, good job. And that's currently P1.
We'll take a look at
Now,
that
you can
replay there.
See what happened. Now we're watching the action closely here.
Inside of the
It's certainly
chicane,
inviting.
and putting the power down, coming through the wall of champions.
And the overtake.
All right, we're sitting pretty good right now. We'll let them deploy for a few laps, and then we will see you guys near the pit window.
Red flag,
All right.
red flag.
Let it not be any of our guys. Yuki Tsunoda in the Porsche. Into the back. No, it's going to be the Alpine. Who was that? Alpine rear-ended Tsunoda. It's going to be a red flag. Clean slate for everybody here. And with no rain, Vesti is going to be starting on the front row. Logan Sargent's going to be starting on the third. Best start so far off of a red flag. Oh, we're going to have to go... We can't go long on the hard tires for this red flag restart.
The restart is moments away as the race continues. And it's lights out.
All right, here we go. A
And
lot of
away
people
we
going
go.
soft medium strategies. Go deploy. Go deploy.
Overtake's available.
Yeah, got ya.
All right. A lot of changes behind us. Major collision. Who gets the penalty? Gasly gets the penalty for rear-ending Tsunoda and ending his race. We are positive in the fuel. Go and push now.
No more lift and coast required.
Copy.
Vesti is pushing aggressive to try to get away from the pack as well before DRS on the next lap. So we could get a first team win provisionally here with Vesti on his first season.
Leclerc is the car in front. Okay, gap 1 second.
Vesti is in the front, so we'll drop him down to medium aggression. Don't want to risk anything if he does get overtaken. Alonso pushing up into P2. And Vesti's already 1.6 ahead. Nobody on old tires, everybody on soft tires. Or, no, Hauger going the long run on hards. He's going to regret that later on, I believe. Unless he can manage to conserve those tires to the end. Sargent up into P2. There's one move. And he makes him on the inside of the next turn. Dude, that's nice. That is awesome. Get a 1-2 for both of our drivers. The second podium, first win for Vesti provisionally. Wow.
No more DRS.
And Vesti is just pulling away. Holy crap. Oh, he's fighting Alonso. We'll let him fight Alonso here. Our next pit window. Lap 41 for Vesti, lap 43 for Sargent. And provisional standings. I would put Vesti in 7th, Logan in 10th. Constructors, I would push us up. No, that would hold us into P5. 41 points provisionally right now. That is crazy. Lap times, no lap times with that red flag yet. Pit crew getting a break for this race. Alright, we're gonna let this play out a little bit. And we'll see you guys near the pit window. Alright, the pit window has opened and Sargent is really putting up a fight against Leclerc and Alonso. They're pushing him out of the top 3 as of right now. Norris is still close behind. We are pitting Vesti first.
Norris the car behind.
Still about 5 seconds ahead here.
Gap behind 0.3.
Sergeant deploy.
Okay, buddy,
Aggressive. I want you to be. He's on high aggression.
Keep your pace up.
And he is
got
no
energy to
longer
push.
having. DRS is moderate
I
right
leave it up
now.
to you.
So that's
copy that.
good. I really want to see a double podium. Maybe a 1-2 here. As the field, it has really gapped out. And our part's definitely playing a favor. And I'm just gonna remind you guys, like
And phase update when you can, please.
the only things that I've done on the database editor is to check the team
Okay, mate, sorry.
development rate, which were towards the bottom of the list. I think it's Alpine is the only other team that is below us. And then the team, we changed the calendar. We checked the development. And I haven't changed anything else.
Gap 0.2.
Everything else is just behind the scenes. We've
Keep your head
been
in the
really
game.
trying to put some time into development for those parts. Like the research we did as much as we could last season. And then we are putting some research into next season, which is a big must. And we're still going to try to get parts pushed out for this season.
Norris has
And
DRS.
Sargent is falling back on
copy.
Claire.
Overtake available.
Come on. I really want to get Sargent into a position where he doesn't have to worry about losing the positions off the podium. but we will have to take it with a grain of salt if we get to that point.
DRS disabled. DRS disabled.
Almost 3 wide into that chicane. It's making the move on the Ferrari. Not
10.6.
quite there.
Let's stick with it. Come on.
Still back in P4. We'll just let him recharge and come back to it when we need it. We're going to go ahead and skip forward to Vesti's pit stop. Alright, we have Sargent pushing for his pit stop. Yaris is really taking a beating.
Okay, I'm entering the pit.
See if anybody else follows. Alonso taking the lead. Right, no issues, no issues, no issues. 2.464. It's an okay time.
Focus on reaction time and no full throttle before pit exit.
We've got a lot of other people coming in close to having their tires changed out. The Sergeant will be changing the next lap. He's in the middle of a fight though.
Currently P11.
1.4 is the gap between him and Alonso.
Hamilton behind you now.
Alright, let's go ahead and sim forward to Sargent's pit window. Or pit stop.
Sing this lap.
Sargent fending off
Yeah,
Norris.
copy,
2.9 is the gap now between Alonso
All right, let's
and
keep
Sargent.
closing up. Great job.
Vesti back there in P11. Looking to
No
get
lift
his
and post
tires
required.
warmed up. We'll give him a rest for a little bit till he gets his
We
tires
work on
warmed up.
tires.
Now it's Sargent's turn for a pit stop. Nobody else coming in for a pit stop yet. And the weather still going to be clear to the end of the race. .552 for Sargent. And that is our pit stops done. We're the only pit stops on the board so far. So that's the benchmark. Joe coming into the pits, first of any other driver to come in.
Okay,
Those
so
tires
currently
are
we're
in
P11.
temp. P10 P11, and that should put us
Hamilton
2
now
or
the car
3
behind.
or 1 and 2. But we'll have to wait and see here. We'll put aggressive on Sargent to get his tires warmed up.
Let's focus on warm up.
Drop down the plates now.
Yeah,
All right.
copy.
Big lift into 14.
Let's see what happens here. See if Alonso comes in. And then Norris P2. Ricardo in the pits. Alonso staying out. Leclerc staying out. They're all staying out. They are conserving those soft tires for a strong push at the end. More than likely. Alright, we're going to go ahead and sim forward to some pit stops. Alright, Alonso is finally into the pits, leaving Norris in the lead. And our guys are not too far behind. Sargent's still back in a P. Verstappen is yet to pit, though. So Sargent's going to jump all of these guys. Hauger's still holding on to those hard tires. 65%. He's running pretty good in the P5. Take the deploy off here for a little bit.
Verstappen's the car in front. Gap .2.
What do we got here?
Come on, let's
ERS.
We need a
Overheating.
little bit more lift off, please.
Alright, we are running good so far. We are back in the points, but we still have a lot of people that haven't pit yet. So, just over 20 laps to go here.
0.7 behind.
I don't know when I muted my microphone, but Sargent's in the fight with Signs,
Come on.
and he has yet to pit, so we don't have to worry about that. Alright, lap 59, Sargent is in striking distance of Alonso. He's gonna have DRS, I believe. Yes, he will. Close the gap on him. No battery left for the lap.
0.4.
11 seconds is the gap between Alonso and
Tricky, doing a good
Vesti.
job. Let's keep it up.
10 laps to go. And Leclerc is just piling in behind him on those medium tires.
He has DRS. Yep, understood.
Sainz is in the pit finally. I believe all of our guys are into the pits now. Bottas still is yet to
So
pit.
you've got a blue flag.
Yeah, we got back markers now. The Alpine, Gasly. Everybody in the top 5 has pit. Bottas still hasn't pit. Off of those mediums. But the goal right now is to get Sargent onto the podium. We're not too worried about Vesti here.
Get behind 0.3.
Alright, let's go ahead and sim forward to the last few laps.
Let's go right down.
Alright, so lap 66 of 70. Sargent is losing pace on these soft tires. 45% left. We've been
So this
trying to
front
push him
management
on
looks
battery.
Good. Let's keep it up.
So Norris overtakes him. So it's going to be unfortunate for us. It's still going to be a lot of points. Still a lot of
Okay,
valuable
come on.
points for us.
All to play for.
That was the vision. To get both of our drivers on the podium. Vesti's looking for his second podium and his first win. After a recent podium in Imola.
4 more laps.
I believe that was,
Okay,
before
copy.
Monaco. But we're just going to go ahead and play it safe to the end of the race. We'll have Vesti push some fuel.
Oh, we can cancel
May as
lift.
well. He is 6.2 is the gap.
Oh, we can use the deploy.
Alonso and Leclerc are both going to be pushing for that top spot. But we don't want to risk anything too severe, so let's get to that final lap.
Norris now, the car in front.
All right, the final lap has begun. Vesti 4.8 against Alonso. Sargent back in a P5.
Okay, good job. Currently sat P5. Norris, the car in front.
Very strong finish. And he has a back marker behind him. That's the Alpine of it's Alpine of Russell behind him. Gasly's back behind Sargent. But yes, a very strong finish for us today. Vesti 4.3 ahead of Alonso. Leclerc close behind in
Blue flag for
P3.
Russell.
Norris P4, Ocon P5, Sargent back down to P6.
Still all to play for.
He's looking to push.
We've got Sainz, the car behind.
We'll have him attack here. See if we can keep pace on those tires. Get back up into P5.
Come on, mate, let's give it oral.
Come on. That's not going to be enough, I believe. No, DRS. He does get DRS, but that's...
Okay, mate,
Will
so
that be
overtake
enough
with the
to
back
get
wheel.
past Ocon? Ocon is defending.
Thank you, mate. Amazing race.
Make a move here. Not quite. That is all he wrote.
Stop at the bridge.
Vesti
P1
with a win.
Wait for the dash.
First win for the
On
team
P0.
of the season. And career, actually, since we
That is the
rebranded.
checkered flag.
And Sargent in a P6 for another great amount of points. Sonoda and Paul Aaron out of this race early on. And I had a feeling that the development was going to start playing a good hand on us this season. We just need to keep track of that. And I've been kind of... Like, the game is programmed to, like, you put as much development as you can into it. It makes it overpowered for you. So I've been trying to space out those parts. So this is good progression for us for now. That is a strong win for us. 3.9 seconds is the gap at the end between ourselves and Leclerc. Our car is built to get through that grid, but we still need to work on some qualifying.
And that's another race done for Fernando Alonso.
And third place sees them round off today with a trophy to mark the occasion.
Well, Karun, how do you think they'll be feeling in the team garage at the end of that?
They'll be absolutely delighted to have picked up the win here. What a great outcome that is for the team.
That's it for this weekend's F1 action here in Montreal.
Formula One will be back to Europe for the next round, on the shores of the Mediterranean, with some heated competition to look forward to in Spain.
Alright, so here we are. Frederick Bestie, P1. Logan Sargent, P6. The grid improvement is just crazy. Driver standings, Frederick Bestie up into P8. Logan Sargent holding on to P11. Closing in on Esteban Ocon. And then we're still holding on to P5. We're closing the gap slowly but surely. 33 points to Williams. And 69 points to us. We're still a ways away. 155 on Ferrari in P4. And then we do not get the fastest pit stop. We're still sitting at P10 at that 2.464. And I believe that's a P16 contract bonus. That's why he's losing almost 100k. And I did split, reminder, I did split this recording into two. So I will have to take a look at the menu. Refurbishment. Manufacturing the next chassis. I believe we did simulate Barcelona. Yeah, we didn't get any points here. Silverstone and Spa, Spielberg. Yeah, so I remember now. I simulated through Barcelona. We did Montreal. And then we're gonna do Spielberg and then simulate Silverstone next time around. Let's go ahead and see here. Refurbishment, chassis, post-race update. Couple failed parts we have to replace. Side pod replace. Powertrain. ERS replace. Right. ERS replace. And rear wing replace. Side pod replace. Front wing and suspension going next on that car. Underfloor and suspension on that car. See where our development's at. We're researching another rear wing for next season. And then we got some parts to make. So we'll prioritize replacements and then we'll bring that chassis in hopefully in time for Silverstone. But yeah, a great finish. This cornering, the cornering on the focus is where we really need it. We're not really worried about the top speed DRS, but the engine cooling, tire preservation, that's where it's at. The cornering is the main part of this game where you're really wanting to put your focus in, which is helping us out in the long run. Mentality, mostly enthusiastic. That's better than the last time we checked it. And we are looking forward to this next race. So we will see you guys in the next episode for Austria, sorry.